Starting Monday, January 27th, the top managers of the Bulgarian state energy sector, plus the energy minister, will be on a visit first to Washington, then to Houston, for meetings with the US gas traders and energy companies active in Central and East Europe. If US polished pattern of changes in the field of LNG is any lead, the delegation will be meeting Cheniere, Sempra Energy and Tellurian. Not sure whether they will meet also ExxonMobil, who will be the nearest alternative supplier, if and when gas production kicks off from the Neptune field in the Romanian Black Sea offshore. The mission of Bulgaria's state energy top-level delegation is to pass on a message to the US administration that Bulgaria is serious in its attempts to diversify away from Gazprom and Russian dependency and enter into long-term deals with US LNG gas traders. Bulgargas has been exposed in the near past to offers for direct sales of US natural gas. There were no deals. Bulgargas consistently refused. US companies have effectively given up on ever selling gas to Bulgargas. In recent deals, where LNG has ended up with Bulgargas as the final customer, the gains from the initial 30% lower prices leaving Bulgargas with less than 10% lower price tag that almost wipe out the competitive edge of spot LNG market. Both the intermediaries and Gazprom share an interest in preempting direct sales from US traders to Bulgargas. This is not going to change anytime soon. All the last gas supply closed auctions for natural gas, that Bulgargas announced featured terms of reference specifically tailored to disfavor direct purchase of US LNG and to secure the interests of intermediaries. This discriminatory attitude is a well-known fact to US traders. The GERB governments have consistently ignored to complete a critical element for the imports of LNG, the underground storage Chirin expansions from 500 million to 1.2 billion cubic meters of capacity. Lacking sufficient free storage space denies the US or any other LNG trader in the region a chance to compete on a level play with Gazprom's pipe gas. No wonder many gas experts believe that the delay with the Chirin UGS expansion is intentional and at the behest of Gazprom. The management of the state gas trader has deliberately dragged its feet and failed to renegotiate lower prices for gas and a lower percentage for take-or-pay volumes, now standing at 80% of the contract of 3 billion cubic meters per year. In short, if diversification of Russian gas will come to the Bulgarian market, Bulgargas is hardly the solution or the driver, as the company has spent years in subservience to Gazprom. BTG, Bulgartransgas, focuses entirely on completing the Turk stream until the end of May 2020. The threat of US sanctions is still realistic, despite last-minute efforts by some US officials to offer deals for leniency compromise. Experts believe this is what has motivated Borisov's sudden anti-Russian drive, the need to impress and underwrite promises and goodwill that will be offered this week in abundance in Washington by Mrs. Petkova. Bulgaria could be spared direct sanctions by the US government as a NATO ally, and on the back of those commitments that will be made in Washington, it will be an uphill job to meet unrealistic expectations. Everything Borisov needs is a sanction timeout until the Turk stream pipe is completed and he reports to Putin on a promise met. Until then, Bulgargas and Bulgartransgas could talk the talk, but would hardly walk the walk. Memorandums of understanding and a letter of intent are the substitutes that leaves Gazprom's monopoly intact. But sanctions might come in a less visible form, silent denials of US companies to deliver equipment or spare parts destined for the Turk stream or other critical segments of the Bulgarian gas transmission infrastructure. The US administration would find it difficult to justify exemptions for Bulgaria and treat Borisov and the Turk stream and Bulgaria differently from the Nord Stream, Germany and Chancellor Merkel. Under Secretary of State for Political Affairs David Hale has pointedly reminded the Bulgarian Prime Minister that the Turk stream is a Russian geopolitical project aimed at dividing Europe, and thus it is unacceptable. Companies will be sanctioned. The only option out of for the Bulgarian government is to privatize both Bulgargas and Bulgartransgas, as the Greek government has done. Prime Minister Borisov needs to prove he's serious on diversification beyond the usual PR talk and provide credible proofs of his willingness to secure a level playing field to all gas traders, denying Gazprom any privilege. He also needs to reassure both the EEC and the US government that the Turk stream as an extension in Bulgaria will be regulated in Brussels, not in Sofia, and that Gazprom will be offered maximum 50% of its capacity. Otherwise, Bulgargas' dependence on Gazprom will persist and translate in corresponding loss of market shares, and both Bulgargas and Bulgartransgas, as state companies, would look like old socialist dinosaurs in a tight and competitive regional market. Privatization for Borisov and his oligarchic state capitalist caste is a curse. Remaining skeptical of breakthroughs in Houston or Washington, I wish Minister Petkova and her team to prove me wrong. Thank you.